quick. Got a question with a kick. If the receipt don't match the fit, why you still selling it? We the assembly. Bring the book, bring the proof. Make it make sense, America, make it make sense. One hand on the flag, other hand on the fence. Make it make sense, America, make it make sense. You say, trust the story, but the story got dense. Clip, clip, zip, zip. Redacted, then spin. Same lie, new tie, new grin. Old sin, fact checkers don't flinch. Truth don't need permission. If the book and receipts agree, we checking the edition. They said, start at the ships. Never ask who was home. Never ask why old maps put Judah in the zone. Emmanuel born in 1747, check the frame. Negro land, West Africa, Judah in the name. Before the slave trade stamped us and scrambled up names, Judah sat in the record while they buried the claim. Revelation 2 verse 9, 3 verse 9, sit with that line. End time prophecy said false claims would shine. Bowen map, Negro land. Slave ships hit the shore. 29 years later, 1776, locked the door. America knew the file, kept the record low. Allied with the claim while the real roots show. Jews, the book say, no, no. Textbook wars smile, but the middle page missing. Caught us too loud when we started really listening. Government got secrets with the black market kissing. Every time truth knocks, nothing to see citizen. Uncle Sam smooth with a brand new smile. Same old file stayed buried for a while. Said, baby, just trust me, I changed this time. The lipstick on the collar got a paper trail line. Paper trail, tell the truth. Fact check us, show the proof.
Proverbs 18 verse 17. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him.
Make it make sense, America, make it make sense. You say, trust the story, but the story got dense. Clip, clip, zip, zip. Redacted, then spin. Same lie, new tie, new grin. Old sin.
Babylon wore bricks, now Babylon brands. Tower had a top, now the tower got plans. Market got a pulpit, money got hands. Mammon got a choir, and the choir got fans. News got a script, and the script got a sponsor. Pride got a crown with a smooth little posture. They call evil good, then sell good and strange. Switch signs on the shelf, then they call it a chain. Red cup, blue cup, same bit of drink. New face, old race, same chain, same stink. Left wing, right wing, same bird. Fly both wings, flat while the people ask why.
Make it make sense. Come on, make it make sense. Is that land?
Isaiah 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness.
Church got the comfort, camp got the pride. Both got scissors when the whole scroll slide. One crops for blessing, one crops for blood. Both skip correction when correction pull up. Pastor said peace but forgot repentance. Camp said try but forgot the sentence. You found Deuteronomy then dodged obedience. Found the curse heavy but skipped the ingredients. Yahoo, I want us through prophets and signs, but America trained us to pledge to the line. Yahoo, I said don't swear that your yeah be yeah, but they start kids early with the hand in display.
Hold up. You say don't trust the book unless the system approve it. Then trust that same system when it edits the view. Make it make sense.
Who fact checking who?
This ain't hate for the people, this a call through the smoke. When the whole room laughing at a lie that ain't a joke. If the truth make you wiggle, let the word do surgery. Yahoo, I ain't asking for patriotic perjury. Come out of her, my people, that ain't just Odin. That's a present day warning for the cup they make us drink.
Revelation 18 verse 4.
Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Make sense, America, make it make sense. One hand on the flag, other hand on the fence. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, America, make it make sense. You say trust the story, but the story got dense. Clip, clip, zip, zip. Redacted, then spin. Same lie, new tie, new grin. Old sin. Fact checkers don't flinch. Truth don't need permission. If the book and receipts agree, we checking the edition. Check the claim, trace the line. If the race it don't match, don't sign. If this made you check the story, drop by Yahoo. If this made you search the matter, type fact checkers. We the assembly, scripture in one hand, receipts in the other. Make it make sense, America. Same lie, different fit. the book stay straight. We caught the edit.
Shalom. All right, here another day. Had to do it this way. Some people think because you are warning your people about people that has historically and currently been annihilating and oppressing us, they think you the racist. Some of them do. So, okay. What about the other people? Ain't nobody worried about us. If you busy worried about every other group of people that's helping the white supremacists before you even think about your own, I don't know what to tell you. You might need to look in the mirror, have a reality check. Think about it. We've been conditioned. Hold on. Let me do this. Our people, I learned by seeing. I learned all kind of ways, but this is one way I learned. Hold on. We've been conditioned. We've been indoctrinated. They've taught us what to think. Shalom, MC to the X Project. We've been in their school system. We watched their propaganda called the Tell Lie Vision. Huh? Miseducated, disinformation. See, think about it. I mean, I'm inclined. These other people, they got countries they can go to. These other people, they got police department, they got a military, they got the government, they got all kind of stuff. What do we have? Okay. So if you feeling sorry, that's why, they just, you just seen that video. Well, it just come out that they denied Carmelo Anthony, the judge, a new trial, even though that those boys got record. He didn't have a record. They got a record of anti-black racism, talking about kill Negroes, but they ain't use Negro. And Heil Hitler and all this stuff, even though that's now come out. See, anyway, let's get into this modern day slavery. You look up there, you know, they got this going on in the prisons. You say, well, what about the Chinese? The Chinese got a whole country. They doing that to their own people. We are scattered worldwide, 12 tribes worldwide. Okay? All right. And there's a group of people that's been oppressing the world. The Roman kingdom. The beast that had the wound and did heal. That wound was healing during the, what they call it, the Dark Ages. They started taking back over. They began to regain power. You understand? Yeah. You got cheap labor. They said, well, they using the immigrants. Yeah, they are. But the immigrants come over here, they just as racist or they hate us as the Europeans does. Right? Now, I'm not going to tell you who not to help. I mean, if I see a person in need, I'm going to help them. But I'm worried about my folks. Notice the Messiah went to his people first. He went to his people. He didn't go to nobody else. Moses wasn't worried about the Egyptians, although Egyptians left Egypt with the Israelites. He wasn't worried about the Egyptians. Okay? We got to get out of this. Stop worrying about what these white folks gonna do. If you cool with them, all right, I mean, that's your business. We worrying about, we got chains all around us, guns to the head, ropes around the neck. and me telling y'all to watch these snakes, y'all worried about me. That's why, because you've been indoctrinated. Shalom, Brenda Hill, and DSB. You've been indoctrinated. They done taught us. They practically raised us like chickens. They raised us like farm animals. It's called chattel slavery. That means you reduce to animals. They done raised you to think what you want to think. Well, what they want you to think. All right. They even got stuff in the food. You know you're full when you're eating it, but you can't stop eating it. Okay? They got all kind of distractions, but let's get into it. Shall we? Thank y'all for joining. Let me see which way. Let me see. I think I'll do it this way. Let me see. No, I'm going to keep that up there. Keep that up there. Let me do it. Let me see. Do it this way. Maybe I'll do it like that. But anyway, let's get on into it. Y'all trust these folks. And that it's the Bible says, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, right? Don't be unequally yoked, right? Don't the Bible say that? Let me read this here. So, is it a balanced scale? Me or somebody like me telling you to protect yourself and stop trusting this system that the Bible says is wicked and presently destroying us. You worried about what I'm saying and how these people feel? Is the scale balanced versus we out here dying? Look at it. Their feelings versus our death. But you looking at me. Look at it. That the scale ain't gonna never be balanced. So you value your oppressor's feelings, what they think about you. Even though I'm the one doing the talking. You worried about what a black person saying about the enemies. How you think Moses would be talking? Huh? Would he be worried about the Egyptians' feelings? What about the Messiah? Is he going to be worried about these Romans' feelings? The reason why I call them Romans, the fourth beast of the Bible, the fourth beast of Second Ezra was the eagle. You got a Roman courtroom that's passing out injustice, even though they know that Carmelo Anthony, acted in self-defense. They're not going to do nothing about it. It's a Roman beast. Stop worrying about how white people. But why don't you ask the question? Why ain't white people worried about how we feel? We the ones out here dying. We got blood in the game. Why don't you ask that question? Why ain't they worried about our death? Why ain't they worried about how we feel? We've been indoctrinated. We've been indoctrinated to comfort them. You understand? We've been indoctrinated. They done taught us everything we know, pretty much. Let me see here. Let me get this right. We've been indoctrinated. Think about it. You raising a farm animal. Been indoctrinated. It's something about you that want to make them feel comfortable in your captivity. Huh? Ask yourself. I wrestle with this stuff, so I'm not going to be too quick to put you down. I overcome it. I was talking to my wife today. Let me look at y'all. Every time my life was in danger, it was some black people involved. Every time. When I got jumped, about 15, maybe 20 people, it was black folks involved. But I began to get wise and see who the real enemy was. And it ain't other black people like me. You got manipulation going on. They are purposely dividing our families, taking the fathers out of the home, in putting illegal substances, which is verifiable and historic evidence, drugs in our communities, building up, getting money with foster care as they split the families. Make it where the woman can't get government assistance if the father's in the home. Notice these immigrants get to keep their families together. And I understood. We've been programmed and conditioned to hate ourselves. That's why you feel more comfortable making them feel comfortable than worry about challenging them why they don't care about their people killing us. That's self-hate. That's what it is. You need to repent of that. Our bloodshed, boy, our bloodshed is round the clock, spilling. But somebody calling out the racism and telling our people to watch out for these snakes that's been annihilating us for centuries. That don't bother you. But I'm talking to you black folks out here that gets offended by people calling out the racism. It's some self-hate going on. But anyway, I didn't mean to go there, but since I'm here, let's get into this Bible. All right. Revelation 13. Let me go to Isaiah first. Let me go here and then I'm going to go back. Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. I'm going to try. Hey, y'all look for me every weekend about 6 o'clock. Get y'all used to that way. Get y'all used to like Mike and them does. They pretty much got to tell y'all the time and they stick to the schedule. Get y'all used to checking in, at least 6 o'clock Saturday and Sunday. If everything going normal, okay? Isaiah. 6 o'clock Saturday and Sunday, every weekend. All right? What is this? Let me see here. Hold on. All right. Let me see here what I got. Isaiah 14:2. I had to look up there. Isaiah 14:2. I could read it from there, but let me put it up on the screen. Isaiah 14:2. Okay. All right. Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob. Jacob is deceased. That's the nation of Israel. Okay. This is the nation of Israel, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And these strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. Now look, let me see. They had a picture up there of a variety of people up there. I put black folks up there because we are at the brunt. Yeah, they getting it. They getting the immigrants over there. Yeah, but if you go to some of these prisons, Negroes is still predominantly black folks is still out in the fields. Okay, they got women in prisons working. Okay, yeah. Now it's starting to hit these other nations. Is what I'm getting at. It's starting to hit these other nations. That's what I want y'all to see. As they begin to see what we see. And these strangers, these other nations shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. They ain't going to get no justice with these other folks. That's what you're witnessing. They is not going to get no justice with these other nations, with these ruling class. Once they understand, and then don't expect all of them, because Yahweh said the way is narrow, so ain't but a few gonna make it in. So you shouldn't be surprised when somebody tell you they don't want to hear it. That shouldn't surprise you. You should be, well, I ain't gonna say you should be expecting rejection, but you should not be surprised, because if you expected rejection, that means your faith becomes in the negative. Okay, all right, now. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captive, whose captive they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Now, that's why I put that up there. I put that up there for one reason. You know, you got these people that's they mocking, they making light. They slavery ain't a bad thing. Let me show y'all this first. Chattel slavery is not a biblical thing. Quick Google search to tell you who created chattel. I meant to put an L. Let me put the L in there. Make sure it ain't another word. Make sure the answer right. We believe in the truth over here. Now look, chattel slavery was established by European colonizers. So it ain't in the Bible. What they done to us is not biblical. It's not biblical. You can read that Bible and you ain't going to find this behavior in there. Where you find this behavior in the Bible is going toward the pit of hell, judgment. Okay, let's read some of this. Chattel slavery was established by European colonizers, particularly the Spanish and Portuguese. Remember, these languages come out of the Latin. So these are the same people. They are Romans. The Romance language, French, another language I went over last week in the video. All right, they the same people. In the early 1500s, as they began to kidnap Africans for the transatlantic slave trade, this system treated enslaved individuals as property that could be bought, sold, and inherited. Okay? I just want y'all to see that. I got so much information. Y'all can Google this and read it for yourself. All right? I typed in who created chattel slavery. Let me give you another witness. What is chattel slavery? Chattel slavery is a form of slavery where people are treated as legal property. See, even they is being mild. Treated as animals. Animals. You can kill them when you get ready. You can do whatever you want to. In this land, in this space and time, animals got more rights than us. Go out there, kill it. Go out there and just start killing animals, just all like you just want to, and see what happened to you. They got a prison waiting on you. Michael Vick wasn't even fighting the dogs, and he went to jail for something somebody else was doing. An older brother I was talking to about a month ago, he was saying there were too many white people, too many white children like Michael Vick. I never looked at it that way. That they had to put their, but anyway, you can't raise white supremacists. They grow up liking black folk. Food for thought. But anyway, it's a form of slavery where people are treated as legal property that can be bought, sold, and owned forever. In the Bible, this ain't in there. Now, a person could choose to stay as a servant voluntarily, but they was not forced. You have to read the Leviticus. Okay. It was supported by U.S. and European powers in the 16th and 18th centuries. Okay. But that goes to definition. Let me get back over here to them over there. Let me go to right here first. I'm gonna try to let this video play out. I want y'all to pay attention as to what he don't say. Now, the topic is the topic is about white Christian nationalism and what the problem that they have with it. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention to what they don't say about the problem with white Christian nationalism. You see the title up there. All right.
Today to bring attention to a dangerous ideology threatening our democracy. White Christian nationalism. Most members of Congress don't even know what it means, but experts from the Freedom from Religion Foundation and the Baptist Joint Committee for Religious Liberty have studied it for years, and their new report shows this movement was at the heart of the January 6th insurrection. White Christian nationalism fuses Christianity with a rigid view of civic life, a view that true Americans are white, native-born, and conservative. On January 6th, it was the connective tissue that tied disparate groups together and propelled them to action. It's infecting our government, from members of Congress and top officials in the previous administration to the wife of a Supreme Court justice whose messages to the president's chief of staff leading up to the insurrection smacked of white Christian nationalism. Thankfully, good Americans, people of faith and non-believers, are standing up to this violent ideology. I call on members of Congress to educate themselves about white Christian nationalism and reaffirm the separation of church and state. I yield back.
Okay. Did y'all notice anything? Okay, that's California. Did y'all notice anything what he didn't mention? Y'all notice anything what he didn't mention? I'm going to let it play back and then
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to bring attention to a dangerous ideology threatening our democracy.
Okay, it's dangerous, but they ain't making no laws against it. I understand that. It's dangerous, but they ain't making no laws against it. There you go, Brenda. I wasn't going to add this video, but when I listened to it, I began to notice what was missing.
Christian national.
It's a problem because they bust up in there and they were threatening them Democrats. They bust at January 6th when they stormed the Capitol. They was up in there threatening them Democrats.
Most members of Congress don't even know what it means, but experts from the Freedom from Religion Foundation and the Baptist Joint Committee for Religious Liberty have studied it for years, and their new report shows this movement was at the heart of the January 6th insurrection. White Christian nationalism fuses Christianity with a rigid view of civic life.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all why this a lie. He said white Christian nationalism fuses. Let me play it back. Let him say it.
Rigid view of civic life, a view that.
Let me rewind it back.
White Christian nationalism fuses Christianity with a rigid view of civic life.
That's what they brought over here. That's the same stuff they brought over here, family. Notice Pope Nicholas, who they call Saint Nick, who people are worshiping on Christmas. That's what they brought over here. They ain't changed. The triple K's. This ain't nothing new.
Nationalism fuses Christianity with a rigid view of civic life, a view that true Americans are white, native-born, and conservative. On January 6th, it was the connective tissue that tied disparate groups together and propelled them to action. It's infecting our government.
Okay, y'all understand. This is what they brought over here.
Government, from members of Congress and top officials in the previous administration to the wife of a Supreme Court justice who's
it's affecting them, so it's a problem. Now here go y'all Saint Nick right here. Y'all see the Catholic bishop. Y'all see the Catholic priest. There go your Saint Nick right there. They over there in the Netherlands wearing blackface. There go your Saint Nick. Let me help you look at him again. Let me help you look at him again. I'm doing a video right now. You all right? Hello? Doing a video right now. You all right? I'm at home. Yeah. Where you at? What I'm saying, I'm in the middle of a live stream. Can you drive it? Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I got other stuff. Let me call you when I get done. Okay. Let me call you when I get done. No, I got people listening. Okay. All right. Text it to me. All right. Hello. I should have hit the pause button. All right, now there go your Pope Nicholas right there. There go your Pope Nicholas. All right. Y'all see him. And there go your Saint Nicholas. all y'all Pope folks, save your money. Save your money. Okay? Save your money. Save your money. You're making them rich, and all they're going to do is keep oppressing you. You can't afford this stuff no way. This is idolatry. It ain't in the Bible. You're paying for your persecution. All right? Shalom. All right. Now, let me go back. Okay. Let me share this. Let me see. Okay. Volume going.
Have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Slavery was a bad thing that was to talk about.
Okay,
Like,
he's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not?
He's not. No,
Okay.
he's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race.
You can't tie imperialism, racism, and slavery to one race. It was one race that done it. Well, let me put it this way: it's one race that dominated. Still maintaining it. That's why I don't worry about white people feeling that. I don't know. I ain't got time to be living in their delusion. You see, understand? Yeah. What? Let me look at y'all for a minute. Let me look at y'all for a minute. This is what happens when we sit back and try to stop somebody from pointing out the obvious. What that does, that pushes somebody else to the gallows. You putting somebody else's life at danger. That means they are not going to change their habits, and they just going to keep on slaughtering. They're going to do it anyway. But at least somebody crying aloud and sparing not, somebody might be spared. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3 right quick while I'm thinking about it. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3. See, y'all might want to rethink that, trying to let white people speak for themselves. They can let them speak for themselves. Why you feel the need, you got to speak. Now, if I can see if I'm getting together a group to go out here and slaughter them, I can understand that. You know, I understand. Do that. If I'm getting together, I'm plotting on hurting, harming folks in mass. Do that. All I'm doing is making videos showing you what they're doing, telling you to watch these folks. Don't trust them, because if something happened to you, more often than not, they are not going to jail. I don't want to hear about that black on black crime, because they're going to put a Negro in prison on that slave market that they got. That private prison with that 90% quota that they got to have people in there. We going to jail if we do it to each other. More often than not, they are not. How come you ain't heard about now? All this stuff them twins did, Austin and Hunter was doing. They got records. How come you just now hearing about it? Huh? They put if they could get a baby out the womb and put a record on that child before it's born, they would do it. They hide their dirt. They cover for themselves. They got a whole system. So why would I worry about them? They all right. They got the court system working for them. They church working for them. The police working for them. The military for them. The Coast Guard for them. The National Guard for them. What we got? Hurricane Katrina, what we have? We had people shooting black folks because they trying to get the higher ground, trying to get some food to eat. We had racist people. So when the people don't police their own and they spill over into our territory, that means we got two choices. Either we handle it or they going to handle us. This stuff cannot go unchecked. People say, well, you should have more faith. Okay, all right. I agree with you. But if I'm physically putting poison in your water and you ain't got no other water to drink, what you gonna do? You gonna physically try to purify the water, or you just gonna have faith, as you said? When I take your faith is don't do nothing and drink the water. Me or people like me speaking out about what's being done to us is trying to purify the filth, balance the scales, so you ain't out here like a deer in the headlights, waiting on your turn for them to lynch you. The question is your heart. Whoever feels like you got to calm massa down, this might not be the spot for you. You understand? The scales got to be balanced. So if you got faith, you ain't got no water else to drink. And you just gonna drink it. You say, I'm just gonna have faith. That's the same. You said that's the same logic as these people have been killing us, lynching us, getting them off, publicizing it for years, for decades, for centuries. Instead of me trying to tell people to watch out, you are offended. You ain't offended about us, the death. You are offended that I'm telling people to watch out. Watch these folks. You offended about that, but you ain't offended about all the deaths that these folks has caused us and is causing us. That don't offend you. So you saying you having faith. Now, I'm not going to tell you what your path is. Oh yeah, Ezekiel chapter 33. Let's get to it. All right. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go and speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then I did eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. I'm going to skip down to where he warned the people. Okay. I didn't have this in my notes. Let me look it up this way. (17 through 21). Okay. All right. I just deleted it. 17 through 21. All right, son of man, I made you a watchman. I ain't nominated myself for nothing. I don't want y'all to think that. I ain't nominated myself for nothing. But I see this stuff. And I can't, and it bothers me to see this stuff and not do nothing. I can't be quiet. Just turn it, go somewhere else. Just do that. I'm sitting here. It's just like my immediate family. You know, I done lost a mother, a sister, and a brother in my immediate family. And I'm seeing somebody, I'm sitting back and I'm watching somebody coming to kill him. And I'm just going to sit back and not say nothing because somebody in my immediate family might get offended that I'm hurting white people's feelings. Why do I have eyes to see them coming before they get here? If I'm supposed to act like I don't see nothing. I see my people as my family. Shalom, DSB. Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the people of Israel. So hear the words I speak and give them warning. Who sent them? The Bible said the Most High sent them. I've showed that, in other lessons. The Most High sent them. He didn't say not to warn them. He didn't say not to warn them. When I say to a wicked person, you shall surely die, and you do not warn them or speak to dissuade them from their evil ways in order to save their life, that wicked person will die for their sin. But I will hold you accountable for their blood. I'm seeing all the strategies. Didn't nobody teach me this? The Most High, the life, the time and space He put me in. Didn't nobody teach me all these crafty ways these people is killing us? I didn't go to school for that. 12th grade was my last year. So where did I learn it from? Okay. And it's also in Ezekiel chapter 33 as well. 33, 1 through 9. There it is. But let me get back on my all right, let me get back on my square. All right, let's see here. Let's go this way. Let me knock that out. Okay. And then they minimize. I don't minimize no pain and suffering. Even the 1948ers. I don't minimize what done to them, but they need to get somewhere to sit down because they're doing plenty for everybody else. All right.
Yeah, have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Slavery was a bad thing that was to talk about.
Okay.
Like,
He's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not?
He's not. No,
Okay.
he's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just.
Now, who dominate in imperialism and racism? And what else he said? Who dominates? This woman is delusional.
Cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you look at
Slavery,
let's talk about the fact.
I
mean, slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of.
I'm playing this for y'all because that's good. They think slavery is a good thing. Okay. Read it. Okay, they think it's a good thing. Okay. Keep that same energy. They say slavery ain't bad. Okay then. Isaiah 14:2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel will possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captive, whose captive they were, and they shall rule over their oppressor. So when they start talking, they tell them to go look up Isaiah 14:2. If that ain't enough for them, tell them to go look up Revelation. They said that's Old Testament. Tell them to go look up Revelation 13:10. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Yeah, when they go talking like you ain't got to argue with them, just tell them go look up Isaiah 14:2. Yeah, I'd probably set it up. You a Christian? You believe in the Bible? They ain't got to believe in it. Yeah, I set it up like that. Yeah, go tell them go read Isaiah 14:2. Oh, that's Old Testament. Okay, well Revelation 13:10 then. And back on Revelation 14:2. If the Germans that are in the land today, in the land of Israel, Ashkenazi, Genesis chapter 10, just put Ashkenaz, just put the I on there, Ashkenazi Jews, okay? If they in the land today, okay, who had them in bondage? Huh? And who are they ruling over now? If that Isaiah 14:2 is talking to them, it ain't happened yet. That's why it does matter. When they tell you it don't matter, they don't know what they're talking about. All right, now let's get back to it.
Years old.
White people were
Do you know
the slave
who
owners.
was the first race to
I didn't
try
realize
to
this was
end
controversial.
slavery?
Wait a second.
Okay.
Well, what's controversial?
I'm very surprised.
This is
that
an
you're trying to
extraordinary
litigate.
exercise in historical revisionism.
I'm really
Historical
surprised.
revisionism. Do you realize that
Jillian, I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who was the beneficiary of slavery and
I'm
who
not.
was not.
What I'm trying to tell you is
in
that
the context of American history,
okay.
in the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by
What I'm
saying
saying is
that
you
it was white
cannot-
people oppressing black people?
every single thing is like
Oppression won't run smooth if the people know they're being oppressed. I can't put the knife in your back if you see me coming. I might have to wait till you go to sleep. I might have to put something in your water. I might have to send a girl or something to get you. If you know I'm coming at you, you see what I'm talking about, family. You want you to be quiet and wait on your turn to die.
Oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example,
you know, I understand. I don't believe all white folks is bad, but there's too many of y'all that are. And I can't, that's a luxury I can't afford. That's an expensive chance I'm taking. You understand? Remember what Muhammad Ali said. All right, them 10,000 snakes coming down the aisle, and he had a dope, and he saw the snakes coming. He said, out of that 10,000, he said, 1,000 didn't want to kill him. He said 1,000 didn't want to kill him. He said, should he wait on that 1,000 to get together and protect him for the other 9,000? The 1,000 going to be swallowed up by the 9,000 that do want to harm you. It's too many out there for you to be. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. Okay, that's your choice. But my choice is to slam that door and stay safe. Okay. But anyway, back to the business.
every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of Castro. Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you walk in the front door, the first thing you see is the gay flag?
Okay. All right, let me move on. Now let's get to this one. Okay, y'all can see that.
The institution of slavery is not inherently evil. I know. Some of you guys are upset by that. Some of you guys are saying, I've been saying that for years. Okay, I'll take it.
I'm glad they feel that way, that the institution of slavery is not inherently evil. All right? I want them to get it. Well, he called himself a Bible believer. He called himself. I want them to get acquainted with Isaiah 14:2 and Revelation 13:10. Okay, I'm glad he feel that way. Because they're going to have to put in some work. That's what the book say. And that's another reason why it's so much injustice going on. He wants us to get good and tired of this system. Think about what he did in Egypt. The Most High turned the fire up. That's what that was about. When Moses, and Aaron went to the Pharaoh, the Most High turned Pharaoh, made him more enraged. He turned it up so the people would get good and tired and ready to go. There's too many of us trusting the Romans. And you see when we got to the wilderness, some of them still was wanting to go back. If the Most High hadn't did what he did to make Pharaoh do all this stuff, they probably would have turned on Moses and killed him in the wilderness. You see that? You wonder why, when I first read it, I'm like, why God? He said, the Bible said he hardened Pharaoh's heart. I said, why he hardened his heart? Why didn't he make Pharaoh let the people go? Why didn't he just okay, let the people go? Then you go to read on into the book, and they talking about they ready to go back. I was like, oh yeah. So you want to stay a slave? I done promised Yaakov, I done promised Yitzhak, I done promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that you're going to be blessed and you're going to have land, but you want to stay in bondage. So the Most High turned up the heat. Pharaoh wasn't serving him no way. Pharaoh is eating off of his earth he created. Pharaoh was drinking off the water, and Pharaoh was getting rich off the labor of our people. So the Most High, if he want to turn his heart to fire, he got every right. Okay? All right.
Step further. It is not inherently evil to own another human being. I know. Just wait. Some of you guys are really upset, but let's talk through this because it is very important that every Christian affirm what I just said. And not only should they affirm it, every Christian in today's society should be able to defend what I just said. Okay? Every Christian should be able to defend it. Big.
Now, let's review. Let's review. Chattel slavery was created by Europeans. So whatever he's talking about ain't in the Bible. Okay? It ain't in the Bible. It's unholy. All right, let's go back. Go back again. It ain't, look. So they just some lazy folks that don't want to do their own work. Okay? So what he talking about is disinformation.
Big evangelicalism has been getting this wrong for years, basically since the Genesis, since the advent of Big Eva. They haven't had a good answer for the slavery issue. All right, Christians in America.
All right, that's enough. Let me move on. Let me see here. I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going to go now. Let me go back this way. All right.
When this bill is law, we will have 100,000 police officers on the street, a 20% increase.
Now, I want y'all to give us a time that the police, since its inception as the slave patrol, has not been slaughtering and abusing black folk. I want you to give me a date and time. Give me a time period. How many years that since the police inception from the slave patrol that they have not been genociding us, abusing us, and mass incarcerating us? If you know the answer to that, you know why this is a lie, why this is a bad idea. But black folk went right along with it. That's why it's important that somebody stand up and point out the method of attack. Remember, I will not have you ignorant of Satan's devices. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. That's Bible.
When this bill is law, we will have 100,000 police officers.
This is the 1994 crime bill that Bill and Joe Biden helped orchestrate to mass incarcerate us. Democrats or Republicans. Take your pick. When picking pause, and I choose none.
When this bill is law, we will have 100,000 police officers on the street, a 20% increase. It will be used to build prisons to keep 100,000 violent criminals off the street. We will have the means by...
Look who in there. I don't see Brad. I don't see Bill. I don't see Chad. But y'all, some of us is worried about hurting white folks' feelings. How many kids didn't get to... Now, if you did a crime, hey, I'm with the Bible. Do the time. How many kids didn't get a chance to spend time with their fathers because this Roman eagle split up the family? Huh? How many? How many wives didn't get a chance to... How many marriages and houses were broken up? Huh? At least white folks is just getting their feelings hurt, if they getting it hurt. We dying. We leaving the earth in a dirt in a bag. At least all they getting is their feelings hurt. They can just turn it off and keep scrolling and go on about their business. They can do that. What happened to free speech when we speaking? When you got a Chud the Builder out here messing and antagonizing black folks, that's free speech. But us wanting our people to protect our people, to keep us living and alive, that's hate speech.
By which we can say punishment will be more certain.
When that's incentivized, the question is no longer whether someone committed a crime. It's not about that now, because we've seen that people framed all the time, because these are the same people who are responsible for determining what a crime is.
What y'all think the convict leasing was? They created crime out of thin air. Okay, it ain't changed, family. Now look at this. Y'all, how many of y'all remember this? Now, these guys did the crime. Hey, they opened themselves up to the tide. But I want you to hear the mindset. I want y'all to listen as he said, you got an aging prison population. The guy said they got the prisoners is getting old. We need some fresh blood. I thought it was the Department of Correction where you help people get out and be prepared for society. Ain't that what that's what prison's supposed to be for? You go to, okay, you learn how to do better. Listen, Shema Israel.
Age, physical abilities, things like that. Do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes, with my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator. He's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity.
Who is we? See, this is another thing. This is part of your unemployment. If incarcerated people is working for pennies on the dollars, that drives your unemployment rate up. You got prisoners, you got illegal, you got immigrants, you got illegals, and then you got people out here can't get a job that end up in this system that they orchestrated that's on the stock market so they can rake in the dough.
And we will put them out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that. So we put these young individuals to work.
Did y'all hear? Aging prison. I'm going to try to let it play. I know some of y'all want to hear it. I'm going to try to change my tactic. Let y'all let it play. I'm going to try to let it play.
Mr. Gathwright's age, physical abilities, things like that. Do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes, with my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator. He's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put them out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that. So we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
And I know we talk about life without parole and death row, but for our jurors' education in Florida, what does a life sentence without parole mean?
A life sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections means from the minute they're brought in, they're assigned an inmate number. He will be assigned an inmate number, and when he dies and leaves in a body bag, he will still have that inmate number. An inmate serving life will never, ever get out. There is no parole in the state of Florida.
This ain't biblical. This ain't biblical. How come no money go to his kids so they don't end up in prison?
And they're not ever allowed outside the razor wire and the fence of a secure facility.
So the only way that an inmate serving life without parole would leave is when they die by natural causes.
Okay. Y'all see what it is? Now, that's what, remember Ezekiel 3 said, tell them to repent. Warn the people. Because the Bible already said this stuff was coming. He said he was going to hold us more accountable. He's going to punish us for all our iniquity. That's why we getting more, that's why we getting bigger prisons. Hey, Eliyahu, come on up if you want to, brother. That's why we getting larger prison sentences. They ain't letting us get by with nothing. It's in the word. All right. You just heard in that video, he said he got an aging prison population. But if black folks was as wild and out as they said, then you shouldn't have to worry about an aging population because Negroes will be tearing the door down to get in there, right? If we is as evil as they say we are, it wouldn't be no shortage of inmates. It's a lie. Clothed in manipulation. All right. The U.S. prison population has aged rapidly, with the number of people 55 and older in state and federal prisons increasing 280% from 1999. This is when they first, to 2016, rising from 3 to 11% total prison population. All right. Y'all can read that. I just want you. He said they got an aging prison population. Okay. I want that. So now you see why they gave Carmelo Anthony 35 years. Even though it's well documented that the white twins got criminal records, why ain't they in prison? They need somebody in there. Why not the white ones? Boy, I had to wrestle. I had to doggone manipulate AI to get them black images on there. I had to manipulate AI to get them black faces on there. AI didn't want to print that. AI didn't want to print that image. Yeah. But in so many words, I asked AI, why the double standards? This is rooted in fact. Why the double standards? ChatGPT to be more exact. Why it's rooted in fact. At first it had white people up there. But anyway, you can look at the human trafficking over here in the corner. They go all the way back to chattel slavery. That's what chattel slavery was. See, that's what it was. Let me get back over here. Let me see here. All right. I'm gonna get to that in a minute with chattel slavery. All right, let's move on. All right, crime rates down. Look, if we are as violent as they were, you don't have to put police out here escalating situations. All right, crime rates have been falling across the United States with an analysis of 40 American cities, finding crime declined in most categories, and the homicide rate fell 21%. They said they needed young blood. They said they needed young people in the prison. We don't need them. Okay? Some experts say the drop reflects broader changes in society, and there is no single universally acceptable explanation. How come people just ain't that? How come people can't just be what it is that mass incarceration was built on a lie, and the fruits of that lie, which produces nothing, is coming forth? So now they got to go out there and double down. They got to go out there and double down and do some more satanic stuff to get you in them prisons. Well, I've been going an hour. Ooh. I try not to make my lives long. Let me get back. All right, let me move on. Yeah, let me see. Time. Is that Time magazine? What's this? How come they didn't put them January 6ers in there? They need people in prison. Let them tell it. What they mean is by their actions and the way they move, they need black people in prison. How come they didn't put them in there? Trump got 36 felonies? Huh? Well, how come he ain't in there? That go your Roman architecture right there. That go your Roman with your God on top, your Roman God on top. I forgot what they got up there, but anyway, let me move on. Now, and I looked at it, I knew it was a reason why they were putting them ankle monitors on the Haitians. It's a monetary reason as to why they are putting them ankle monitors on the Haitians. Okay, see it. It's money to be made. Okay. See. Lucrative contracts. The government has allocated substantial funds for electronic monitoring, with contracts totaling over $2.2 billion. See that? It's money to be made. It ain't that they doing the Haitians a favor. I didn't see them parade no white immigrants around. I haven't. If y'all have, let me know. I ain't seen them from parade no Latinos around with ankle monitors, just black, just dark-skinned people. All right, now look here. Did the Clintons receive? I'm gonna rush this up. So if you want to see this stuff yourself, just see what I typed in the search engine. All right, finna wrap this up. All right. Did the Clintons receive money from prisons corporations? Now, see, you see that they created this bill and they getting money from the bill that they created. Yes, Hillary Clinton's campaign previously accepted contributions from lobbyists and PACs associated with private prison companies. But she later announced, we don't care nothing about that. The crime done been committed. The damage is done. We don't want to hear no apologies. In the Bible, apology ain't enough. It's got to be restoration. It's got to be reparation. It's got to be some kind of retribution. With the repentance. Okay? But let me move on. And you also had Cash for Kids, where these judges was putting children in the prison system. Okay? There goes some of the judges. See that? It's more than them because somebody was doling out the money. Somebody was paying them. Okay? I'm going to move on. Cash for Kids. I'm trying to wrap this up, keep it from going. Now, trafficking during slavery. That's what I was talking about earlier. Okay? They just didn't call it trafficking. Trafficking during slavery, particularly the transatlantic slave trade, involved the forced transportation of enslaved African people to the Americas, where they exploited their labor on plantations. Y'all see how this is sanitized? This brutal practice was characterized by inhumane conditions and significant loss of life during transit. Millions upon millions upon millions. Okay? But this heifer, where she at? I must have deleted it. But she making, y'all know Jillian Michael. Well, I got another picture of her. Making light of it. Making light of it. Anybody making light, but she was making light of it.
Loser and now a MAGA influencer was on Newsnight Live.
But anyway, they making light of it. What's her name? I can't think of her name. That woman name. Oh, Jillian Michaels. Okay. All right, now let me move on. I'm about done, family. Now let's get into this part. Y'all see them pharmaceuticals down there, huh? I almost forgot this part trying to rush. Let me chill out, cause this right here is serious stuff right here. What I'm finna get into right now. Y'all see them drugs right there, right? Now, some of the same stuff is in your food. Let me give you an example. How many times have you eaten, knew you was full, but yet you couldn't stop eating? I submit to you the possibility of the R to the X control down there on the screen right there. I submit to you that's why. I've done it. Okay? I've done it. I've done it. Fess up to it. Fess up. I ain't scared. I did it. I done it. All right, now. Maybe, let me take this. Shalom, Yisrael. Yisrael. Shalom. All right, let me get back up here. All right, now. Medical exploitation of black people in America goes far beyond the sales stolen from Henrietta Lacks. I'm telling y'all, them some guns is getting, they extracted everything from us. They extracted everything. Everything they can get from us. All All take, no give. The only giving they giving to us, they giving us hell. All take, no give. See, look at that. Let's read some of this. In a case that revealed the exploitation of a black woman beginning in the 1950s, extended for 70 years. Don't forget the Tuskegee experiment. Don't forget the prisoners that the U.S. government experimented on. You can Google that. Don't forget the chemicals they sprayed in the projects in St. Louis. Huh? That's what we know of. This stuff that they're feeding us right now ain't nothing but an experiment. All right. All right. Let me see here. But let's talk about Henrietta Lacks. Okay. But what it is saying, and I just gave you some examples, that the exploitation of black people goes far beyond the stolen sales of Henrietta Lacks. I gave you some examples. They experimented on prisoners. They sprayed chemicals in St. Louis. Yeah. The Tuskegee experiment. Yeah. Yeah. See, when you see people as animals, I mean, you can do with them what you can. All right, now look at here. Gynecology was built on black women suffering. We're still reckoning with its racist roots today. And you know, but we ain't supposed to call it out. If we're not calling it out and we see the danger, we know the danger's there, are not we helping to slaughter our people? Huh? If you see the tactics in which the enemy is using, and you know they're bloodthirsty, and you and say nothing, at least you can tell somebody in your immediate circle. Ask them what do they think? What they think about the medical, the medical history. Ask them, do they know the history? Some of y'all gotta warm up to it. Me, I just get straight to the business. I mean, I told y'all I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. That's why y'all might wonder why I'm by myself. I love people. I just ain't with the foolishness. I get straight to the business. And I had to understand everybody don't think like me. Some of us got to warm up to it. Start a conversation. What they think about the medical industry. Y'all know. Y'all more social than me. And then give them a little bite. See how they, But anyway. All right. In 2018, New York City removed the statue of its icon, James Marion Sims. Y'all do know what y'all know what he did to the black babies? J. Marion Sims. Anyway. They was doing tests on black women. That's where the gynecology come from. Experimenting on black women. And to this day, what do the thanks black women get? What do the thanks? So basically, white women and all these other people benefiting from the medical industry, they owe modern so-called medicine from the suffering and pain of black women, and got the nerve to turn their nose up at black women. See, black folks, period, got the nerve to turn their nose up at Eve, the mother of all living. That's how you know this is a satanic world. I'm praying for its destruction. I got some more for you. Look at this. Now look at this. Now I don't know, but I know it ain't far from the truth. It's black women at the top at the top. Look, at the top. Molech sacrifices, Baal, whatever you want to call them. Look. See that? Now, after we get through doing this, look, after we get through aborting our children, guess what they're going to do? Satan going to take that, look, and make money off of it. See that? What is this? I don't look at that, family. See, now I'm having visions of the Bible verse in the book of Enoch, where the fallen angels taught people how to do this wickedness. Look, so you gonna take part of a baby, more than likely a black baby, and rub it on your face so you can look young. Ain't that some wickedness? I didn't really look at that right there when I. Hey. Now, who's controlling this stuff? Is black people controlling these industries? Is it Latinos controlling this industry? Huh? Is it Africans controlling this industry? Who's controlling this stuff? Who's dominating it? Or is it YT people? Huh? They putting it in food, they put it in medicines. Y'all see that? This right here, I've been knowing about this. Look, they said false claim of peanut cells used in food or originate in the lab. For example, the biotech company. Now, when I first done this years ago, when I first researched this years ago, it was saying, yes, it's in the food. Now, it's saying it's not. When I first did this years ago, it said yes. Now, they saying it's not. If it's in the medicine, what? And if they put it on your face, I'm just saying it's not far-fetched to say they're not putting it in the supply. Okay? Okay? But anyway, y'all can read that. Y'all want that link? Since I ain't got the link up there, I'll drop it in the chat. You have to type it in like it's written. See that? Just type it in just like you see it up there on the screen. I'm screaming on this channel too. Type it in just like that. But most of y'all over here, yeah. I prefer everybody to be, yeah. But anyway, type it in just like that. I put the link in the chat. Take a picture, write it down, take a picture. I used to do this when I was learning stuff. I take a screenshot and write it down, type it in from different people's videos when I was learning stuff. But anyway, let me move on. All right, this is something else you can look into. Food industry owned by pharmaceutical companies. You said, what is the connection to slavery with that? You said, what is the connection with that? Let me move that down. Well, when you get done eating this polluted bread that they're feeding us, you're gonna end up on some of these, and then you're gonna end up in the hospital, making them some more money. So you're still a slave. Think about it. They are partnering up. When you get done eating all this, okay, you're gonna end up on some of these. And then you're gonna be dependent on it. So try to get out, try to stay away from it, try to avoid it, at least fight it. I know it's everywhere, I know it's hard, but she that endured to the end shall be saved. So just fight. Pray the Most High. Hey, grow some food. If I know you, you come telling me some food, I'm gonna buy some food from you. I'd rather buy your food than master's food. Okay? If you're close in proximity, I'd rather buy food from you than food from them. That's real talk. Real talk. I just want to look at that. Now think about that. When I hear the word chemical, you know what I think about? I think about bleach. You understand? I think bleach. Stuff like that. The stuff that you shouldn't be ingesting. Now look at here. I'm gonna touch on this brief. Y'all know what propylene glycol is? Huh? I'm gonna say this. Y'all know what that is? All right, for time's sake, how many of y'all know? I'm gonna look at y'all. I since I'm trying to rush, I'm gonna do what I don't, what my flesh don't want me to do. How many of y'all remember, old enough to remember, ice cream used to freeze? Key word is ice. How many of y'all remember, old enough to remember ice cream? They don't call it ice cream no more. I know it's a little delay. How many of y'all know it used to freeze? I remember, you know, it was 6 of us. My mama used to sit that bucket of ice cream out. We had to wait a while to eat the ice cream because it was froze. Any of y'all don't remember? It was 6 of us. I remember because I didn't like waiting. Let's go back over here to the thing. Yeah. Now look. Now let's go back over here. Propylene glycol. That's why your ice cream don't freeze no more. They got antifreeze in it. Look. That's why. Now, how many of y'all, you know, I watch some crime shows. Snap. What they call it? The FBI files. They got another one. Forensic Files. You know, people they want to get rid of somebody, they put antifreeze in their food to do it, to get rid of them, right? So why is it in your ice cream? You say, well, it's small amounts. Okay, who's done the research and the homework on how much small amount of ice cream over a period of years is lethal? Who's done that work? Huh? How much poison is a safe amount? See, you got to look at the whole thing. Think about it. How much poison you comfortable? You have to start looking at it this way. Yeah, but this is a form of it, MC. Yeah, this is a form of it. See it? Boy, they got it. Boy, I didn't know they spice, concentrate, food colors. Yeah, look at this. We need to see. We could start a whole job thing ourselves. You get somebody that's good in the kitchen, somebody good in the garden, and we get out here. I'm telling you right now, if you know me and you got something to for sale, holler at me. You got some food, it's gone. You got some food, I better know you. I better know you. Let me put that out there. Because these racist devils, see what I'm saying? But yeah. We feed it to some dogs first, see what gonna happen to the dogs. feed it to the neighborhood cats. See how they react. But yeah, look. But anyway, that right there is paint thinner. And this was in some kids' cereal. I forgot this is in kids' cereals. All this stuff. But yeah. Okay. But yeah, ain't no need to me. I'm gonna end it right there. I'm just showing you that They leading into captivity, and they going into captivity. They think it's good, even though it ain't. You know, it's still not gonna be what. Even though they think it's good, but anyway, Shalom family. They never give it to the animals. I love animals. My granddad used to have a farm. But hey, you have to watch these folks. They listening. Okay, I know how to get him. Let me give him some deer meat. Let me put some stuff in his deer meat. See, I'm talking about people. Yeah. I'm gonna test that. Yeah. Shalom, Eliyahu. I'm glad y'all can make it. But hey, I'm gonna play this victory song. Let me see here. Let me set it up. Yeah, my wife, she know how to make she make homemade ice cream too. That's right, and it freeze. and it's notice they don't call it ice cream no more. I think they call it frozen dessert or something. They don't notice they do not call it ice cream anymore. Why is that? Because it don't freeze anymore? Well, hey. Shalom, I'm finna go, y'all.
They tried to bury us. They counted us out. They told us to be quiet, to shrink, to disappear. But what they didn't understand is that pressure creates diamonds. Pain builds power. And every setback was setting us up. We are not broken. We are built. Built from struggle. Built from faith. Built from everything they said would destroy us. You can chain the body, but you cannot cage the spirit. You can rewrite history, but you cannot erase legacy. We didn't burn in the fire. We were made in it. We didn't fall apart. We transformed. So when you see us rising, don't question it. When you see us shine,